How is everyone doing? In this episode, I'll be breaking down how a potential trade involving a young quarterback could unfold during the NFL draft. It's been reported that the franchise might consider moving on from its 12th overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. The idea behind this is that bringing in a rookie quarterback to learn under a more experienced player makes sense. The team is believed to be open to trading this quarterback during draft weekend. A new minority owner with a fresh perspective is intrigued by the concept of a rookie QB observing and learning from his surroundings. Even in what's considered a down year for quarterback prospects in the NFL, there are still a few interesting options to keep in mind. As for this particular quarterback, many are wondering what a trade involving him could look like. What are the possibilities on day one? And on day two, we're going to try to unpack those scenarios and explain why a trade could make sense on each of those days, as well as the potential reasons one might materialize. It's worth noting that this player has brought solid competition to whoever the team may decide to draft. Still, a trade remains on the table, especially considering the uncertainty around how much demand there really is for quarterbacks this year. Every offseason brings new questions about how players are valued in trade discussions. Looking at this quarterback's resume over the last 2 seasons, he's appeared in 20 games, started in 17 of them, thrown for 20 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, and holds a starting record of 7 wins and 10 losses. That said, it's important to acknowledge the challenges he's faced during that span. So what is his value on the trade market? Personally, I'd say he's worth a 5th-round pick. But if you disagree, feel free to share your thoughts. Let's begin with a trade proposal that would take place in the 1st round. Honestly, I can't really envision a scenario where this quarterback gets traded that early. The reason is simple. If a team is moving up in the draft, it's likely to target a quarterback themselves. Maybe another team is moving up for a running back. But here's the first trade suggestion. The team would receive a 4th-round pick from the New Orleans Saints, who would make the move for this quarterback. Why would New Orleans make that move in the 1st round? The only justifiable reason in my view would be if it's confirmed that their former quarterback is out for the season. Reports indicate that might be the case. What if a top QB prospect comes off the board before pick number 9? What if another is gone even earlier? We've seen quarterback runs happen before, and if the Saints believe there's only one remaining viable option, they might pull the trigger on a deal like this to secure someone and let him compete. If a trade like that happens on draft night, the excitement will be real, and I hope you're all ready. If you're looking for more draft coverage, get ready to join us for our live stream of the event. Whenever a draft night trade happens, the energy is off the charts. And of course, you already know we've got deep coverage lined up for you. If you want to join us for our live breakdown of the NFL draft, we're ready with in-depth analysis, and this Thursday, we'll be going live with a mock draft show that promises to be thrilling. It's a first-of-its-kind event, so buckle up for a fun night. Now let's talk about day 2 of the draft, which includes the 2nd and 3rd rounds. I've got a trade scenario here that might seem unusual, so let me explain. In this case, the team would receive pick number 84, a 3rd-rounder from Tampa Bay, in exchange for the quarterback and a 4th-round pick, number 108 overall. It might sound odd at first glance, but when you consider the quarterback is worth a 5th-rounder, the cost to move up, using both a 5th and a 4th, still wouldn't quite get you there. What Tampa Bay is essentially doing here is valuing the quarterback as a 4th-round pick, which justifies the cost to move up a few slots. Tampa Bay is in the market for a backup QB, and they've got ties to this team through a former star player and front office members with links to Tampa. If I were the Raiders, I'd look to be aggressive and grab another 3rd-round pick. There are a lot of prospects I like among the top 120. If someone starts to slide in round 3, I'd definitely consider packaging that 4th-round pick to move up and grab a player who could contribute right away. If I were the Raiders, Tampa Bay would be my first call. Now, let's imagine a potential day 3 trade involving this quarterback. To be honest, among all these scenarios, this one might be the most realistic. I'm not saying this is my top prediction. I like to explore multiple angles, but think about this. The Raiders could receive pick number 156, a 5th-rounder, while the Pittsburgh Steelers would take the quarterback directly. That might not sound like a blockbuster deal to some, but it's definitely a better return than what another player recently fetched. considering how many fans passionately defended the Raiders targeting this player. I personally prefer this quarterback. I see him as more than just a solid athlete. I believe he's a real quarterback, and that's the key focus here. Why would Pittsburgh make this move? They're clearly in the market for a quarterback and have been following all the talk around big-name players this offseason. There's been a constant cycle of quarterback discussions. Just think how often we've talked about this position over the past few months. Imagine still being uncertain about your starter heading into the season. That's exactly where Pittsburgh is right now. If they're picking at 21 and don't land a quarterback in the first 3 rounds, maybe because their preferred choice is off the board or a run starts early, what then? What if the QB they draft doesn't want to join the team? If I were in their shoes, I want to bring in some competition. I'm not convinced he'd be better than the current backup, but it would at least spark a battle worth watching. There are more trade scenarios I want to dive into, but before that, today's conversation is brought to you by a special partnership. There are some new trades to discuss, but before we get there, let's shift focus briefly to the NBA. This past weekend saw some thrilling games, with the Warriors' loss to the Clippers standing out. It got me thinking, what if we could attend an NBA playoff game in person? There's an app that can help with that, offering last-minute ticket deals for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater performances, and more. Whether you want to see a top artist live or attend a playoff baseball game, this app gives you access to memorable experiences. You may not remember the final score, but the excitement of being there will stick with you. For example, people still talk about that insane game where a player dropped an unbelievable number of points. Not even a playoff, but the energy felt like one. So, whether it's the Lakers or Warriors, these moments are out there waiting for you. Let's get back to trade talk. There's an intriguing scenario involving a coach and a quarterback. It raises the question, why would a team like New England even consider trading for this player? I asked a Patriots analyst, and the answer was a firm no. When I pressed for what might change that stance, the reply was, maybe a better trade offer. Right now, New England seems uninterested. Still, if a 4th-round pick could bring in 2 players, would that shift their thinking? Probably not. At this point, both players are probably worth 5th-rounders at best. So if you're New England, would you give up a 4th-rounder for both? Maybe. But there's a complication. They've already signed a backup QB. Does this new player surpass him? If not, what does that mean for the current depth chart? This makes the situation all the more complex. Let's close with one final trade idea, one that looks ahead to next year. Someone in a sports chat asked what trades could still be out there for this quarterback. Aside from one team, no one showed real interest. That one team reportedly floated the idea of trading a 6th-round pick in 2026. That's not just an opinion. That's what was actually suggested. The team is searching for a backup quarterback, and what stands out is that they're already looking ahead to next year's draft. They've secured picks in rounds 4, 5, and 6 for 2026 thanks to compensatory rules. This could be a way to stockpile more assets. If your team only has 4 picks in this year's draft, using one to trade for a backup QB might not be ideal. Still, when the current QB room isn't strong and there's uncertainty around your starter's health, it makes sense to at least consider a move. Even with a good relationship between the QB and the organization, accumulating future picks might indicate a rebuild or a search for a new starter in 2026 or 2027, when real contention may be possible. So let's break down these trades. I want to know, who made the best offer? If you think it was New Orleans, type their name in the comments. If it was Tampa Bay, just use a short version. If you like Pittsburgh's offer, say their name. And if you think New England was the best option, let me know. This is a fascinating situation, even if it's not one everyone will love. If you look me in the eyes and ask which deal I think is the most valuable, I'd say the New Orleans one. Though I believe it only happens if things get desperate and other quarterbacks come off the board. If you want more content like this, you can always find me on social media where I'm very active. And just to be clear, I'm not pushing a trade. I'm just exploring what the best value could be. There are so many rumors flying around ahead of draft night, and it's going to be exciting to see how it all unfolds. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors and speculation are swirling around the NFL, with one name generating increasing chatter: Javonte Williams. The talented running back, once a highly touted prospect out of North Carolina, has been linked to the Las Vegas Raiders in what could be one of the most talked-about moves of the offseason. Could this be the perfect fit for both Williams and the Raiders? The whispers are loud, and the NFL world is watching closely as the possibility of a trade or signing intensifies. With his potential return to form after a rough few years, the Raiders' front office seems to be keeping a close eye on the 2025 free agent market. Williams' time with the Denver Broncos has been a roller coaster. After a promising rookie season, the running back was sidelined by a significant injury that cast doubt over his future. Despite the setbacks, the 2024 season showed signs of promise, as Williams proved himself as a reliable receiving back, with 346 yards and a career-high 52 receptions. However, his rushing numbers, just 513 yards and 4 touchdowns on a 3.7 yards per carry average, left some fans questioning if he could ever return to his rookie-level form. As the Broncos evaluated their roster for the upcoming seasons, the whispers about his future grew louder. For the Raiders, the addition of a back like Williams could offer a much-needed spark to their offense. With the Raiders' backfield needing depth and an infusion of talent, Williams represents an intriguing option. His ability to catch passes out of the backfield makes him a dual threat that would complement the Raiders' existing offensive playmakers. Furthermore, his toughness and determination to bounce back from injury align perfectly with the gritty culture that Las Vegas is known for. Could Williams be the missing piece in their playoff push? Despite the buzz around a possible move to the Raiders, it's worth noting that Williams' contract situation could complicate things. Having signed a one-year, $3.5 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys in March 2025, he's technically off the market for now. However, with the Cowboys already having several key backs on their roster, there's speculation that Williams might not fit into their long-term plans. His future in Dallas could be short-lived, which means the Raiders might still have a chance to acquire him if the opportunity arises. As the offseason progresses, all eyes will remain on Williams' situation. Whether he stays with the Cowboys or ends up in Las Vegas, the question remains: can Williams return to his peak form and lead a team to success? The Raiders are in desperate need of a difference-maker in the backfield, and Williams could be just what they need to push them into contention. For now, fans across the league will keep their fingers crossed, hoping to see one of the NFL's most intriguing running backs find a home in 2025. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.